The 1960s were overflowing with soul. Too much for any one radio dial to hold. Hidden in the grooves were songs that lit up dance floors, broke hearts quietly, and left their fingerprints on everything that came after. You might remember the big chart toppers, but these next 15, these are the gems we didn't hear enough. Number 15, Nothing Can Stop Me by Chandler.
Bring back When the Duke of Earl Comes by Chandler.
Released in 1965 on Constellation Records, this track caught Chandler at a crossroads, stepping out from the shadow of his earlier Duke of Earl fame and working with the legendary Curtis Mayfield. The record has that unmistakable Chicago soul glide, smooth, confident, hopeful. It's the sound of someone who knows better days are coming, even if they're still just out of reach. But here's the twist. Despite its warm brass, swing groove, and heart-lifting chorus, it barely grazed the national charts. Why? Simple timing. Radio stations were leaning heavy toward Motown polish and raw Southern grit, and this track sat beautifully, but awkwardly, between the two. Still, drop the needle today and you can feel its joy. Imagine a summer sidewalk in '65, corner store sodas, shining chrome fenders, slow walk swagger. This song is that feeling, and its legacy quietly lived on. Many Chicago vocal groups later credited it as one of their emotional blueprints. We're just getting started, and if you like rediscovering songs that deserved more love, wait until you hear what's next. Number 14, You Better Believe It by The Miracles. Better believe it, baby. This one slipped right between eras. Released in 1963 on Chandler, The Miracles were still defining what the Motown sound could be. I do, you better believe it, baby. Long before the polished, heartbreak elegance of Ooh Baby Baby, they were experimenting. And You Better Believe It is Smokey Robinson at his most fiery. Not tender, not pleading, fiery. You can hear the early Detroit club stages in the rhythm section. Crisp hand claps, bouncy bass lines, and Smokey's voice leaning forward like he's singing directly to somebody who made a mistake. This wasn't just a record to play at home. This was a performance record, meant for packed dance halls where the floorboards rattled. But here's the thing. Motown was releasing so many hits at the time that some gems were bound to slip under the radar. This one just didn't get the national radio focus it deserved, overshadowed by bigger crossover smashes. Yeah, you can hold me. Today, it feels like opening a time capsule to the exact moment Motown was becoming unstoppable. And if that was Motown heat, the next one brings Southern soul smoke. Number 13, Just One Look by Doris Troy. One look, and I felt so hard. Released in 1963 on Atlantic Records, Just One Look is the kind of record that feels casual at first, almost simple. But listen closely, and you'll hear a masterclass in how to let emotion lead a song. Doris Troy wasn't a polished star groomed in some label machine. She was a New York session singer who'd backed up legends, sung in church, and lived in the music long before she ever stepped to the mic for herself. The story goes that Doris recorded the entire track in just one take, and Atlantic bought the single the very next day. No heavy production tricks, no studio gloss, just that warm, trembling voice carrying all the weight of seeing someone and instantly knowing they matter. It became a modest hit, but it didn't get the same spotlight as bigger Atlantic releases of the time. Still, this track traveled far. The Hollies covered it in the UK. Linda Ronstadt revived it in the 70s, and it even found new life in films and commercials. Hear it today, and you can almost feel a summer window cracked open. Wind drifting in, radio playing softly beside a heartbeat speeding just a little too fast.
Just one look.
It's love at first sight soul, something you don't forget, even if radio did. Next up, we head into one of the great voices of New Orleans, and a song that deserved so much more shine. Number 12, Tell It Like It Is by Neville. Released in 1966 on the Tiny Parlo label, this record is one of those pure, hard-on-the-table soul confessions. Neville's voice, that soft vibrato, that trembling clarity, felt like something heaven sent.
Tell it like it is.
It was unlike anything else on the airwaves. While much of Soul was full of swagger and heat, this song was a quiet, vulnerable truth-telling. No games, no pretending, just a man saying exactly how he feels and hoping the love he's offering is enough. But here's the catch. The song blew up too fast.
But if you want me to love you,
the label wasn't equipped for national distribution. They simply couldn't press enough records to meet the demand. So even though it hit number 1 on the R&B charts, it never got the sustained radio push it deserved. It became a memory instead of a movement. Still, picture it. A slow dance in a dimly lit room, a soft hand held just a little tighter, a promise whispered rather than shouted. This song was and is real love soul, and voices like Neville's don't come around often. And if this one was a soft plea, the next track, it's a whole celebration. Number 11, Shake by Sam Cooke.
shake, shake.
Released in late 1964 on RCA, Shake arrived after Sam Cooke's tragic passing, which means the world didn't get to see him perform this one the way he meant it to be felt. And that's already a heartbreaking twist, because unlike the smooth, angelic elegance of his earlier recordings,
Oh, honey, shake.
Shake was pure movement, pure sweat, pure celebration of being alive in the moment. This was Sam breaking free. You can hear the church shout, the R&B club groove, the early heartbeat of what would soon become soul's dance floor revolution. The horns punch, the drums bounce. Sam leans into the rhythm like he's daring the world not to move with him.
Come on, little Sam, feel so loose.
But because the track came out right after his death, radio and press didn't know how to handle it. Should it be celebrated, mourned, respected, or held sacred? So it never became the anthem it could have been. Yet its influence was massive behind the scenes. Otis Redding made it a centerpiece of his live sets, and James Brown borrowed that looseness.
Body loose and light and just shake. Oh, I like to do.
That freedom to push soul into funk territory. Put it on today and try not to move. It's joy with a shadow behind it, the kind you feel deep. And if that one lit up the dance floor, the next song is about the kind of slow burn that lights up the heart. Number 10, It's Gonna Take a Miracle by the Royalettes. Released in 1965 on MGM Records, this is one of those songs that feels like it was poured straight out of a heart that had already been through too much. The Royalettes were a Baltimore girl group with vocal finesse, poise, and a sound that shimmered like sunlight on water. And this track, arranged by the legendary Teddy Randazzo, was their masterpiece. This wasn't bubblegum girl group pop. This was orchestral soul. Strings swell like a sigh. Drums sit soft and steady like a heartbeat holding itself together. And Sheila Ross's voice? Pure longing. She sings like she knows love doesn't always come back, but hope won't let her quit. But here's the bittersweet part. The Royalettes never had the promotional machine that groups like the Supremes or the Shirelles did. So while the song was breathtaking, the world's attention slipped elsewhere. It charted, but too quietly. Yet, the song didn't disappear. Years later, Denise Williams took it to the top of the charts in the 1980s. Laura Nyro and LaBelle reimagined it into a soul jazz prayer. And every version still echoes that original ache. Close your eyes. You can almost picture a lonely bedroom radio in '65, lights low. A teenage heart holding on for just one more miracle. Songs like this don't fade. They wait. If this was longing turned into music, the next track is pure feel-good groove from a group that deserved way more flowers. Number 9. Function at the Junction by Shorty Long. Released in 1966 on Motown's soul subsidiary label, this record proves that not every Motown classic came wrapped in polished tuxedos and perfect choreography. Shorty Long brought grit, humor, and pure neighborhood energy. The kind of voice that sounded like it walked straight out of a Friday night block party. Function at the Junction wasn't about heartbreak or longing. It was about showing up, linking arms, and dancing until your feet didn't care anymore. At a time when Motown was focused heavily on crossover-ready acts like The Temptations and The Supremes, Shorty Long was the people's champion. Raw, joyous, and a little mischievous. But because he didn't fit the standard label image, he didn't get the radio push or promotional spotlight. That's how a stone-cold groove like this ends up underrated. Listen today and you can feel it. Brass popping like laughter, drums chasing your heartbeat. Shorty calling everyone to the floor. Cousins, neighbors, the whole city. This was real community soul. The soundtrack to basements, dance halls, cookouts, and VFW parties where the night didn't end until sunrise. And if this track makes you want to dance, the next one, it'll make your heart melt all over again. Number 8, When Something Is Wrong With My Baby by Sam and Dave. Released in 1967 on Stax Records, this song is the emotional side of the legendary duo best known for fiery, high-energy hits like Soul Man and Hold On, I'm Coming.
Something is wrong.
But here, Sam and Dave slow everything down, letting their voices stretch into pure devotion. This is not just a love song. This is a promise. Backed by the incomparable Stax House Band, Booker T and the MGs, the arrangement is tender, almost fragile. The horns don't blast, they weep. The organ shimmers like candlelight.
Something is wrong.
And Sam Moore's lead vocal? It feels like it's coming from somewhere deep inside, like the kind of love that hurts to hold but hurts more to lose. But here's the twist. Despite its emotional power, this song didn't shake the charts like their biggest hits. It didn't become a cultural slogan or a soul rally cry. Instead, it became something quiet and sacred.
Yeah, mother.
A track shared between lovers, played at weddings, held close by anyone who felt that when your partner hurts, you hurt too. Spin it today, and you'll feel that slow dance warmth. Two people swaying close enough to share breath, the world fading down to just them. If that was devotion whispered softly, the next one brings us back to the streets where rhythm ruled every corner. Number 7, Ain't That a Groove by James Brown.
I think that answers your question, ladies and gentlemen. James Brown!
Released in 1966 on King Records, this track captures James Brown right in the middle of transforming rhythm and blues into something new. Something tighter, sharper, more the physical. This was the moment funk was starting to take form.
Yo, baby, and you are tight, and everything you say I do is mellow.
And James was conducting the band like a preacher guiding a congregation. The famous flames snapped like a live wire behind him, the horns punch in perfect conversation with his voice. And the rhythm section lays down that lockstep groove that makes your shoulders move before your mind even notices.
I like to be in the mood whenever they think the man is yellow.
But here's why it flew under radar. Radio stations and critics at the time didn't quite know what to do with this. It wasn't pop, it wasn't blues, it wasn't jazz. It was something raw and rhythmic and deeply black in a way America wasn't ready to honor publicly yet. So instead of becoming a banner hit, it became a dancer's secret. The song DJs used to test if the room was really alive. Play it today, and you can feel James smiling through every ad-lib, every shout, every break. It's not just a groove. It's confidence, joy, swagger, and soul tied together into a strut. And if that made you move, the next track brings the kind of emotion that makes you stop and really listen. Number 6, Stay in My Corner by the Dells. Released in 1965 on VJ Records, this track is a quiet monument to vocal harmony. The Dells were already seasoned by the time this record dropped. Veterans of club stages, bus tours, and late-night rehearsals where voices had to blend like silk just to survive.
And I will never.
Stay in My Corner is their signature tenderness, a plea, a promise, and a prayer, all wrapped into one slow-burning performance. Listen to that lead vocal, full of restraint and ache. Then how the background voices rise behind it like a single shared heartbeat. The arrangement is spacious, letting every emotional breath ring out. You can almost imagine this one echoing through a gymnasium slow dance, or across a dark living room where someone's working up the courage to ask for just a little more time. But here's what kept it underrated. It was released just as VJ was collapsing financially. The label couldn't support or promote the record, so it never gained the national spotlight it deserved. Still, its influence quietly rippled through soul harmony groups for decades. This is the kind of song that holds you still, that reminds you love isn't just joy, it's choosing someone, even when it hurts.
I love you.
If these forgotten gems are bringing back memories, or maybe making new ones, take a moment to like this video. It helps keep this music alive for the next generation. And stay close. We've still got 5 more soulful treasures to uncover. Number 5, I'm Gonna Cry If You Quit Me by Otis Redding.
Well, all my life, I've been real strong.
Released in 1964 on Volt Records, this is Otis right before the world fully caught on. The rawness, the grit, the unfiltered emotion, it's all there, but still a little rough around the edges in the best possible way.
Everybody got to do the same. Everybody.
He hadn't yet become the international symbol of soul power. He was still a young man from Macon, Georgia, singing his heart out in cramped studio rooms and smoky southern clubs, believing, truly believing, that music could save him. In this track, Otis doesn't hide a single feeling. His voice cracks, swells, pleads, like love is something you fight to hold on to. The horns stay tight and soulful, but they don't decorate. They support. The rhythm section sounds like it was cut live, because most of it was. Capturing the emotional immediacy of a heart trying not to break. So why is it underrated? Simple. By the time Otis became the giant, we remember songs like Try a Little Tenderness and Dock of the Bay towering across radio. Early gems like this one got overshadowed. They became footnotes instead of foundations. But listen today, and you'll hear the entire blueprint of his greatness already forming, raw, honest, and burning with devotion. And if Otis showed us the pain of holding on, this next song shows the sweetness of letting love lift you up. Number 4, You Don't Miss Your Water by William Bell.
You Don't Miss Your Water. Please welcome William Bell.
Released in 1961 on Stax Records, this is one of the earliest deep soul ballads to come out of Memphis, a song that didn't need to shout to break your heart. William Bell was young when he recorded it, still finding his footing as a songwriter, but he already had that gentle, weary wisdom in his voice.
You really loved me.
This wasn't the dramatic, aching heartbreak you hear in big orchestral productions. This was quieter. The kind of sorrow that shows up late at night when the world has slowed down and there's no one left to convince. The story goes that Bell wrote this song while he was touring, missing home and love and familiarity. And that's exactly how it sounds. A slow-moving organ, a tender bass line, drums soft enough to feel rather than hear. His voice doesn't plead, it accepts. It knows the lesson learned too late. You don't know what you have until it's gone. It didn't become a nationwide smash, partly because Stax hadn't yet become the powerhouse it would soon be, but musicians noticed. And when a song speaks truth that deeply, it travels. Otis Redding covered it. The Byrds took it into folk rock territory, and soul singers from churches to nightclub corners kept it alive. Play it today, and it still feels like a confession whispered to the dark. If the last track held regret like a quiet ache,
You don't miss your water.
the next one shows what it sounds like when love comes roaring back. Number 3, That's How Strong My Love Is by O.V. Wright. Released in 1964 on Gold Wax Records, this is one of those records that feels like it came from a place beyond performance. Something lived, survived, and sung straight from a scar that never fully closed. O.V. Wright was a gospel-trained singer, and you can hear every bit of the pulpit in his tone. The trembling intensity, the prayerful pacing, the quiet plea turning into a full-bodied declaration. But timing can be cruel. Right as this song began to gather momentum, Wright's previous gospel group, the Sunset Travelers, stepped in legally, claiming contract violations. The result? Lawsuits, halted promotions, airplay confusion, momentum lost. By the time the dust settled, the moment that could have made O.V. a national name had passed. Meanwhile, Otis Redding covered the song the following year and took it to the world. His version became beloved, iconic even, and deservedly so. But the original? It holds a different kind of depth. It's slower, more fragile. Like the love he's singing about is something he's still fighting to keep. Picture it, a dark club in Memphis. Cigarette smoke hanging like a quiet fog, a small band playing low behind him, and O.V., eyes closed, leaning into the mic like it's the only thing keeping him upright. That's not performance, that's testimony. If this one was love laid bare, the next track brings spark, swagger, and pure groove. Number 2, I'm Just a Prisoner of Your Good Lovin' by Candi Staton.
Has got me in captivity.
Released in 1969 on Fame Records, Down in Muscle Shoals, this record marks the arrival of one of soul's most underrated voices. Candi Staton didn't just sing soul, she embodied it. Her voice had grit and honey, heartache and fire, all wrapped together in a tone that could stop a room mid-conversation. This was before the disco era, before Young Hearts Run Free.
Yeah, I'm just a prisoner.
This was Candi in her rawest form, steeped in gospel roots, singing from life she'd lived. And the Fame studio band, the same crew that backed Aretha and Wilson Pickett, plays like they know exactly how deep she's digging. The bass line struts, the drums hit with southern swagger, the horns glow like warm street lights on a summer night. But here's why it slipped under the mainstream radar. Fame was a powerhouse, but it wasn't Motown, and it wasn't Stax. It didn't have the national machine. Hits here traveled by reputation, by jukebox, by dance hall, by word of mouth across Southern soul circuits.
I want you to put your hands together right now, come on.
Spin it today and the groove is immediate. This is that close your eyes and sway kind of rhythm, the kind that grabs your shoulders and pulls your heart forward with it. Candi sings like she's confessing something dangerous and beautiful all at once. We've traveled slow burns, heartbreaks, block party jams, gospel-tinged testaments, and velvet harmonies.
Something reminds me of you.
But nothing prepares you for the timeless masterpiece waiting at number 1. Number 1, Anyone Who Knows What Love Is Will Understand by Irma Thomas.
Distinctively different singer, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Irma Thomas.
Released in 1964 on Imperial Records, this is a soul treasure that lived quietly in the shadows for decades, until the modern world suddenly rediscovered it. Irma Thomas, often called the Soul Queen of New Orleans,
Put me down, still I'll be there.
poured a level of emotional truth into her songs that was unmatched. But the industry never gave her the promotional push she deserved. She had the voice, the depth, the artistry, but not the machine behind her. This song is delicate, almost fragile, but emotionally devastating. A slow waltz rhythm, velvety strings, a small club intimacy that feels like Irma is singing directly to you.
No, they just don't know.
Her voice doesn't shout, it aches. It recognizes love as something both beautiful and heavy, something that can save you or break you or both in the same breath. For years, the world overlooked this masterpiece, until it began appearing in movies, television, and even Black Mirror, sparking a new wave of awe. Suddenly, people were asking, how did we miss this?
It's a great thing when you don't get a chance to go much. And since I've had quite a few nice records,
But the truth is, this song was always here, quietly holding anyone who needed it. This is soul at its purest, gentle, wise, and full of knowing. 15 songs, each one a story, a memory, a moment that deserved more light. These tracks remind us that the 1960s weren't just about the hits. They were about feeling. The basement parties, the slow dances, the jukebox nights, the hearts learning how to break and how to mend. Thank you for taking this soul stroll with us. If this brought back a memory or created a new one, subscribe to keep the groove alive. And don't stop here. Up next, 15 R&B songs only, those who grew you in the 1960s remember. Click it on screen. Let's keep the music playing.